Hey y'all, I'm Erin Haynes. I'm the editor-at-large for the 19th News, a nonprofit newsroom reporting on gender, politics, and policy. I'm also the host of a brand new weekly podcast from the 19th News and Wonder Media Network called The Amendment. Each week, we're bringing you a conversation about gender, politics, and the unfinished work of American democracy. Our very first episode features my dear friend and Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist, Nikole Hannah-Jones. It's out now, so please go listen and follow the show. On top of all of this, I'm your guest host for this month of Womanica. This Black History Month, we're talking about revolutionaries, the Black women who led struggles for liberation from violent governments, colonial rulers, and enslavers. These women had the courage to imagine radically different worlds, and they used their power to try and pull those worlds into view. Today, we're talking about a Brazilian activist who dedicated her life to fighting police brutality and to subverting her country's power structure. Her 2018 assassination cut her life short, but her death inspired a movement in her wake. Let's talk about Marielle Franco. Marielle Franco was born on July 27, 1979, in northern Rio de Janeiro. She was raised in Mare, one of the largest complexes of favelas, or shantytowns, in Brazil. Like many Black Brazilians in Rio's favelas, Marielle grew up acutely aware of the racism and classism that surrounded her home. Mare had limited access to hospitals, transportation, and schools. Police regarded its residents as criminals. The lack of state support also made it easier for drug gangs to take over, leaving residents in danger. When Marielle finished her public schooling, she found it difficult to get into university. She needed to take more classes, make more money, and to top it off, she was a new single mother with less and less time on her hands. Marielle saw her community's needs passed over time and time again. Government funding was funneled into public security rather than education or infrastructure. And with higher budgets for police, the favelas were raided more often. In 2002, Marielle was accepted to the Pontifical Catholic University of Rio de Janeiro. She attended classes, worked, and raised her daughter simultaneously. She graduated with a degree in social sciences and then got her master's degree in public administration. Marielle's thesis focused on the decline of the favelas and law enforcement's role in making the neighborhoods unsafe. After her friend was killed in the middle of a police shootout, Marielle dedicated herself to human rights activism. She entered politics, aligning herself with Brazil's Socialism and Liberty Party. She began working with the Human Rights Commission in the Rio de Janeiro State Legislative Assembly. There, she studied case after case of abuse and violence in Rio's justice system. After years of working as an activist and a congressional consultant, Marielle decided to run for Rio de Janeiro City Council in 2016. Marielle was one of very few women running. She positioned herself as a defender of the poor, Black women, and people from favelas. On Election Day, she received the fifth highest vote count of more than 1,500 candidates running. While her election was seen as a step forward in Brazilian politics, it had not quelled the rising militarization of Rio. Violence in the city got worse. In February of 2018, President Michel Temer gave the military more power, placing it in charge of security in Rio. Marielle spoke out against the order, saying it would raise violence rather than stop it. In early March 2018, a young Black man named Mateus Melo was killed leaving church. Marielle tweeted, "How many more must die for this war to end?" On the night of March 14, 2018, Marielle was leaving an event empowering Black women. When Marielle and her driver entered her car, they were met with a barrage of bullets. Marielle and her driver were killed instantly. Marielle's supporters were shocked. She was a rising political star and had plans to wed her partner, Monica Benicio, on the horizon. For many, Marielle represented hope. Black bisexual mothers from the favelas, like her, were not supposed to be in power, but she never let that stop her. Marielle's murder was surrounded in controversy. Her supporters demanded answers, and demonstrations were held across the world. Arrests were not made until a year after her death. Even then, the question of who killed Marielle remained unanswered for another 5 years. In 2023, investigators confirmed paramilitary gangs were implicated in the crime. Marielle's legacy lives on today. Her sister, Aniele, is the Minister of Racial Equality of Brazil. Marielle's lifetime of work continues to inspire the country's Black youth to get involved in politics. They see Marielle for what she truly is, a symbol of resistance. All month, we've been talking about Revolutionaries. For more information, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to co-creators Jenny and Liz Kaplan for having me as a guest host. Tune in tomorrow for the start of a brand new theme. And make sure to listen to weekly episodes of The Amendment, out now. Bye, y'all.